A hero is someone who shows great courage in the face of overwhelming odds, and that is exactly how you would describe the teen that you are about to meet.
Starting at the age of 5, she says she was abused in her own home and 10 years later was thrown out only to be attacked by a vicious dog. Staci Spanos joins us to tell us how she finally got out and what signs you need to look for to know that a child may be being abused. Staci.
Well, we want to show you Dawn's beautiful smile right now. Take a look at that smile, huh? She lights up a room when she walks into it. Her story is one of tragedy, but also triumph. And she wants to tell you her story in the hopes that she can help others.
I could if I chose to.
She may be just 4'10", but don't be fooled. 17-year-old Dawn carries a big personality in that small frame.
You seem like you're happy here. Yeah.
Happy and safe now in the home she shares with her foster mother, Barbara Nelson. But life was never this easy or peaceful for Dawn. From the age of 5, when her mother married her stepfather, life became unbearable.
He hit you?
He beat us. He did a lot of other stuff like sexual. Yeah.
Dawn's life consisted of constant worry. Worry that she would violate the arbitrary rules set out by her stepfather and the punishment she would face. In middle school, one time her stepdad found a note written by a boy who liked her.
He asked me what it was, and, I was kind of scared, so I had to try to think of an excuse, but I couldn't really, and then he took a wire and started beating me with it.
And that almost seemed, because you experienced it daily, that almost seemed normal, right? A normal way for you to live.
Yeah.
Shirley Patton is a licensed clinical social worker with Daniel Kids, the state's oldest child service agency. She's currently Dawn's therapist. Patton says, tragically, abused children get so used to their circumstances, they perceive how they're being treated as normal.
If that is how someone is brought to believe life is, holidays and celebrations and hugs and love and laughter, those things are abnormal to them.
Dawn realized things were different in her family after talking to a friend at school. And at the age of 15, she reached her breaking point. A fight that started with her mother escalated when her stepfather walked in.
He started beating me, and then he dragged me by my hair and took me outside and locked me outside.
And the dog attacked you at that point?
Yeah.
How bad was the attack?
Well, first he bit inside my mouth. He knocked this tooth out right here. And then he had grabbed my leg, jerked, and I had fell. And then after that, he had let go of my leg, went to this side and ripped through my skin on my side.
Dawn showed us the scars on her side.
So what is that, Dawn?
That's one of the dog bites.
He just latched on right there with his teeth?
And the scars on her hand, where she punched the glass door to get away from the dog. She ended up running to a neighbor.
I was bleeding, like, a lot. And then my side right here and my leg.
Who called police. Dawn went into the care of Daniel Kids and eventually moved in with her foster mom. Her therapist says she's made amazing progress in 2 years.
She went from knowing that you can't just blow up on people and punch walls and hit people, but then there was the transition period of knowing what to do with how she was feeling, which is what we spent a lot of time working on.
Why do you want to talk about this now?
To help people that went through the same thing, or who are going through the same thing.
Dawn also wants to make people aware of the signs a child may be being abused. According to Daniel Kids, they may be withdrawn, depressed, or aggressive, unable to concentrate in school or miss many days, have ill-fitting or dirty clothing, and
not a very good hygiene, because for me, he didn't let me take showers, and probably only once a week. And for a few years, he hadn't let me brush my teeth at all.
Dawn and her therapist encouraged children to find someone they trust to tell about the abuse and tell someone away from the home, like at school, so you can be kept away from your abuser. Dawn says abused children need to keep one very important thing in mind.
The time will end. You're not going to stay in that situation forever. Because, well, I mean, if you guys believe in God, I mean, pray to God, because that's how I got out.
Now, under Florida law, it is the duty of any person living in the state to report suspicion of child abuse. If you feel a child is in immediate danger, call 911. And if you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, call the Florida Abuse Hotline. It is 1-800-96-ABUSE. A remarkable young woman, isn't she?
Courage.
She's an inspiration. Yeah. What about the stepfather who's accused of abusing her? What happened to him, and how about her biological mother?
Well, this all happened in Volusia County, and I spoke to an official down in the sheriff's department this week, and they told me they did conduct an investigation against the stepfather. They sent the details of that to the state attorney's office, but prosecutors decided not to pursue the case. And when I asked a spokesperson today why, they told me there was insufficient evidence. Now, as for her mother, she has since gotten another legal guardian, and she keeps in contact with her mother, but she said all those years she felt like her mother did nothing to protect her. It's tough. It's a tough story to hear.
Beautiful young woman, though.
She certainly is.
As you said, tragedy turned into triumph.
Most definitely.
Thank you,
Wow.
Staci.
Thank you, Staci.
You can go to news4jax.com for additional information about Daniel Kids and programs it provides, along with direct links and phone numbers to report suspected abuse. Just look for this story on the homepage.
The month of April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, and tomorrow from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., social workers with Daniel Kids will be here at Channel 4 taking your calls, offering more information about available services to help children like Dawn. They'll be offering the warning signs of abuse and neglect, so they will also be accepting your donations for the nonprofit. Our phone lines will be open tomorrow at 5 p.m. right here on the local station.